Hey, we're looking at systems of equations, and we have a little introduction to that here. Hannah and Lewis each open a savings account. They make different initial deposits and weekly deposits as shown in the table. So let's look at the table. Hannah has an initial deposit of $0. She doesn't put anything in right away, but each week she puts in $5. Lewis, on the other hand, starts off with a $30 initial deposit, and each week he puts in only $2. So you gotta figure, if Hannah's putting in $5 each week and Lewis is putting $2 in each week, at some point Hannah is going to catch up to Lewis, even though he put down $30 initially. Well, let's see what it wants us to do. Here it wants us to write an equation to represent the amount of money in each person's account. We'll let y equal the amount in an account, and we'll let x equal the number of weeks. And when we do this, in Hannah's account, the equation turns out to be y is equal to 5x. So the total amount in her account is equal to the $5 times the number of weeks. Whereas Lewis's equation is the total amount is $2 times the number of weeks plus the $30 that he initially deposited. So now let's make a table of values that satisfies each equation, and then we'll graph both equations on the same coordinate plane. So let's take a look at Hannah. Well, initially, before we've had any time go by, a week hasn't gone by, so Hannah has $0 in her account for when she opens it. So when x is equal to 0, 5 times 0 is 0. So y is equal to 0. And when we have 5 weeks later, we're going to do 5 times 5, which is equal to 25. When x is equal to 8, $5 times 8 weeks is equal to $40. And then 10 weeks times $5 is equal to $50. Let's look at Lewis's account. When he initially starts the account, he has $30. When x is equal to 0, we would say 2 times 0 is 0, plus 30 is equal to 30. So y is equal to 30. 5 weeks later, we would say 2 times 5 is equal to 10, and 10 plus 30 is equal to 40. So we have 5 and 40. 8 weeks later, we have 2 times 8 is equal to 16, and 16 plus 30 is equal to 46. And then 10 weeks later, we would say 2 times 10 is equal to 20, plus 30 is equal to 50. So now, let's graph both equations on the same coordinate plane. Let's start with Hannah's. So we have 0, 0. We have 5, 25. We have 8, 40. And we have 10, 50. And let's draw a line there. Now let's graph Lewis's on the same coordinate plane. We have 0, 30. We have 5, 40. 8, 46. And 1050. Let's get that line in there. Now, what are the coordinates of the point where the two lines meet? And what does this point represent? All right. Well, the point where they both meet is the same in each of our tables here. We have 1050. All right. What that represents is the point at which Hannah and Lewis have the same amount of money in their savings account. All right, and it took them both 10 weeks to get to that amount.